Hi, hello everyone. This is Azara, and this is another episode for my podcast, La Revoltosa. So in today's episode, I'm just gonna talk a bit of what is my project about. So I was supposed to be discussing this in the last class of Jack, but I could not attend that class, and this is a bit of what I've been doing with my project and what's gonna be. So. In general, so my project, the idea started with the pandemic, and then how the pandemic has affected children and their parents. So following what we have been doing with Jack in his class, I created a story. And so I'm talking about a child and his mother, but I want it to be general, so I don't want it to be focusing one particular person. So saying that, I'm basing myself on the experience happening with the pandemic with my son. So with my son and with me, he's 11 now, so he started high school, and so for him the pandemic was the last 2 years of his school. So then having that change from school to high school, and then so the natural changes that you have as a child, and then on the top of that you add the pandemic. So that was the original idea. And when we were writing about our ideas, like straight away I wrote 2 pages, and I was super excited about it. I already saw it, like, I don't know why I'm seeing everything black, like really, really black. Somehow it's like it's coming. And then it's like it was coming to my head to do something like MECANO. So it's like MECANO is a Spanish group from the 80s. And they have a song like Hijo de la Luna, so son of the moon. And so it just came natural, like to write something as a poetry. It's like, imagine there's somebody from the back singing or saying something. So a lot of ideas going out there. What I have very clear in mind, I want the story to be something positive. So I don't want it to be traumatic or sad, or I want it to be like a circle. So what's happening and where we are. And somehow more I think about it and more I'm developing the idea, so more comes as a natural. It's like exactly as a circle, how it goes from parenthood. So it's like somehow I started with this idea of being about a pandemic and how pandemic has affected children and their parents, to then naturally developing into what is the trip that you have when you become a parent. So what is like from the beginning, and then it's like the obstacles or the issues that you might encounter during that journey, like parenthood journey, and then how you overcome those obstacles. So I need to read this. I've been reading some books now, and so they're giving me some ideas of how to develop more this idea. So I've read What Is That So Funny from John Wright, Improv from Keith Johnston. So reading these books, I was talking to Carrie as well, so she gave me this idea, or like proposed that like as an option, and I think it's a fantastic idea. So I had from the beginning very clear I wanted to add video, so I wanted to be a multimedia performance. And so she was asking me if my son was going to take part. I said, no way. It's like he's gonna say no. But now I don't know. And reading these books, so I'm being fascinated by the use of masks in theater and how the mask can embody yourself. Sorry for the cough. Sorry. So how the mask can help the actor to not helping. It's like the mask has its own personality, and then the actor, whoever is wearing the mask, will feel that personality. So I'm starting to envision perhaps the use of a mask in the play. So I know there's gonna be the narrator. So it's, as an actor, I think I will play different characters. For sure, there's the narrator that is gonna be on the side. And I was thinking maybe it'd be interesting for the narrator to have a mask. And I just found online, there's a website called vamostheater.co.uk. There's, I think they are a charity, and they are based outside of London. And I think it's from 1674, 24, for people between 16 and 24 years old. They have workshops for free and they can join them. But I've seen they do workshops as well, like mask, for creating masks. And I found out they have one workshop here in London at the end of April. So I will try to book that workshop, and I will try to do the mask with them. Before I found them, I was thinking anyway to do the mask myself, with, you know, knowledge I have from doing masks before, I guess. And then, well, I was thinking just to look online, but it could be very interesting to do the workshop with them. So fingers crossed I can do the mask with them. And I was thinking as well, like how I can make my son being involved. So I thought to ask him, and I thought, because it's gonna be an interactive performance, so I was thinking to record him, to make some videos of him. But I really think that he doesn't want to be on stage, and maybe he's gonna surprise me and he's gonna say yes, but I think he doesn't want to. But I thought the way he can be part of the play, because he's part of it, it is perhaps doing some videos together. So it's like doing some improv together and playing together. So with these two books, and these two books I just mentioned, so there are lots of different games that actors use for improv. And I was thinking maybe it's going to be interesting to do something with my son, as the way, as I'm saying, like, because it's about parenting as well. So it's not only the pandemics, it's like how you find yourself, you know, this journey of finding, like, clashing, finding each other, caring. And so I'm thinking that's gonna be something very nice. And I'm pretty sure he's gonna be up for it. About the Vamos Theater and the workshop for doing a mask, I would try to book it for me, and I will ask them if a child can go as well, because I think it's during Easter, so it should be fine. He should be able to attend. And if he can do that, so then that's gonna be a part of it as well, like the creation of mask, both of us doing a mask. So yes, fingers crossed I can go there, and we can do that. More, I've been reading as well, like this book, Blood, Sweat, and Fury of John Freeman, and I found there an artist that I'm really interested about is Elena Cologni. She's Italian, and she's working mostly in the perception in time-based art, the reflection and self-representation. So how do we represent in front of the people, and then the time of the art, like when is something art, or like when you create something at a different time and people seeing it at a different times. It's like this time clashing on layers of time, and how that performance or piece of art is perceived differently from different angles, it depends on where you see it from, and then when you see it. So that's something that I really like. that idea, that concept, and I've started working on it on Instagram. So I've created a new Instagram profile, which is Asarka, and I'm analyzing social media, in particular TikTok. In particular TikTok, in regards of how you create like art with this new technology and new social media applications. And so I've uploaded some videos already. One of them is the use of masks. So in that application in TikTok, you have different filters, and one of them, the one I was using, it was the sad face, so it's like distorts your face. So the mask, it's only online, it's not real, it's just on the screen. However, even if it's not physical, it's not tangible, it becomes real because whoever is seeing it accepts it as a mask. And then you as an actor, even though you're not wearing it, but because the reflection, your reflection shows that mask, so you are embodying the mask, and you having your body and your actions are being modified because they uses of the mask. And then it's this idea of like you doing that, but then you don't have a public. So as Grotowski was saying when he was defining the poor theater, it's like the minimum that you should have is a public, even one person as an audience, and then an actor. But then it's like with social media, so you are creating it, you don't have an audience at the time you're creating it, so you're lacking that. And then that you will upload it doesn't mean that you will have an audience. So you maybe can upload it and nobody will watch it. So where is that line of creating? Is that art? Is not? Can you consider it as art? It's only becoming art when somebody's watching it? Or is it art from the moment that you're doing it? And then how is the perception of the people seeing that? So for instance, what I'm doing is like creating these videos in TikTok, and then I'm commenting. So I'm explaining what I'm doing. What is all that about? Because some videos are a bit like strange, like why are you doing this? And then so TikTok is linked with Instagram. So in my Instagram profile, like as an actor, at my actor profile, I have many Instagrams. I'm uploading those videos, and then so you have stories where I don't say anything about those videos, and then I have my feed. So in my feed, I post the video again, so it's in my stories, and then it's on my feed. On my feed, I explain what I'm doing and why I'm doing that, and what is the research I'm doing and the purpose of doing that video. So it's then your audience is different. So you have the audience that sees that in TikTok, then you have the one that is going to see it in Instagram, and then from there you have those ones that they might not read what you are doing, so just see the video and it's like, okay, well, she's just doing TikTok videos. Or like those ones that they would go to the feed and they will read the full description of the video so they can understand what is the purpose of that video, why you're doing it, or why I'm doing that. So sorry, I'm just going a bit everywhere. But I'm just doing a lot of things together, and they have to do with this performance, because so social media is something I want to use within this performance. So I might just gonna add some videos. I still have not decided yet if I'm gonna add some videos like I will do in social media, especially for this performance, or social media, so like new applications like WhatsApp. So it's like this application made us being closer to our relatives during the pandemic, and it was bringing us a lot of support. especially for those that we don't have a family nearby. And I'm thinking to do live streaming. So you can do live streaming with TikTok, and you can do live streaming with Instagram, with Facebook. So I want to live stream the performance and then having a recording of that. So there's a lot of going on there with the social media that's going to be included in the performance. Elena Cologni, she talks about Merleau-Ponty. I don't know if I pronounce it properly. It's French. Merleau-Ponty, I think. So he talks about the phenomenology. So it's the study of senses, including the essence of perception and of consciousness. So again, I like that. I like that point, and it's something I want to dig in a bit more for this performance. And so I want to have a bit more of reading and investigating, because why I'm doing this performance, and why I'm doing this project. I want to make a change in whoever is seeing this performance, this project. I want them to think. I want them to think, and hopefully to make positive change on them. So I understand like pandemic has been very challenging for everyone, and children especially have suffered a lot, but with them, their parents. And so it has not been easy for no one. And we're still seeing what the consequences of the pandemic are in people and in children. I can already see like many differences if I look, if I think about my son or like his friends. But I want this to be something positive for whoever is like seeing it. It's like call for life or for love, if that makes sense. Like, in a way, like understanding that life is not a straight line, and you're gonna find obstacles and big ones like this one, but being together, you can sort that out. And like the bonds that you have as a family, it's like mother, son, is so strong that work on it, you know. It's like be there whenever you're needed. And so that's kind of my idea of like of this performance. That's why I'm saying like I don't want it to be dark and negative, but I want give a call out of about how the pandemic has been hard, and people, if they have not acknowledged it, to acknowledge it and to fight for their beloved ones. And then going back to it, so it's like with the masks, I'm looking a bit of Kabuki Masks, but it's a different type of theater. It's a Japanese type of theater, but I think it's very traditional, so I don't want to mix things that they are like different ideas. But yeah, I'm looking into these things like Kabuki masks. So for instance, the masks are done in wood. What is interesting is like, so they have done in such a way, so it's like when the light is hitting the mask can change expression. Isn't it amazing? So trying to see if I manage to do something like that. More things I have to read about this project. So psychology tests about children and the pandemic. So I've done a bit of research about it and reading, like I just want to get some data there, and I want to include data on my performance. So I want it to be with a scientific research. So I want to base my stuff in something that is proven, it has been researched, and that's the situation. I think it's gonna be a solo play. So I will play the narrator and then perhaps move into different characters. I'm not sure yet, and I'm not sure yet if then I will change. So it's like the narrator is like you have the mask, you're there, and then it's like you get into the video and then you dissolve yourself from being a narrator. While it's like you still have the projection of the narrator here who carries on talking, and then it's like I'm moving into a different character. Jack was giving me the idea of perhaps like making the shape. So I have this one here, but it's not. So it's like instead of having a toy, so having a toy like this teddy bear made out of masks. So perhaps having these props on the stage that they represent a child, but that where you can clearly get out of those props the idea of the pandemic. So I got this this image of having a football within a rectangle. So it's like making the rectangle like perhaps with wood or something. So it's being something very tight. So imagine that this is the area and then the ball is here. So to give this idea of oppression, so it's like you really don't have place where to play. You have the ball but very tiny space to play, so you cannot play. I know here in the UK was different, so people could go out to exercise at least for an hour, but it was not the reality of other countries that are very close to me, like my country, Spain, or my adopted country, Italy. So adopted country, Italy. So I want to show that as well, like how kids were not really free to play. So it's like how many kids were taking that away from them. So this is basically where I am with my project for next term, and I have discussed it with Caribbean. Jack knows about it as well, so I was talking about it in the last class I went, and he was giving me a feedback because I was building up a story. So I was just putting the character of the grandfather, and he was saying to me, okay, do that story to be harder, so it's harder for the child to get where he's going. So that is something I need to look at still, because I think I'm changing the story. Clearly, like, so the protagonist is the child, and he's the innocent, as if we're talking on the archetypes of Jung. So he's gonna be the innocent, and so everything is gonna go through it. That's the thing of the story. So I don't want everything to go through his eyes. I want things to go through his eyes and the eyes of the mother. So I want to give two visions of it. And I think as they have a lot to write about it. But yes, that's the performance doing for my project, my final project for next term. And as an actor, I think when I'm applying into this performance is like one, so the creation of the story, the creation of the story, and then the improv, the use of masks, the narrator as a character, and then as a performer, I'm implementing, or as a performer artist, and I'm implementing these ideas of multimedia and social media, and probably is, yeah, the play with children, if my son at the end is gonna be happy to be part of it. So all those ideas, I'm very excited about it, and I hope it's gonna be all great. So that's all for today. Thank you. Bye.